The Marvel Cinematic Universe had a good run, dare I say a great run, from the years 2008 through 2019. Known as the Infinity Saga, it looked like the Marvel Cinematic Universe could never fail. But since the year 2020, Marvel has had a bit of a struggle, to say the least. And while last year's Deadpool and Wolverine was a smash hit and a box office success, this year's MCU entries have, well, left quite a bit to be desired. Even the latest entry, Thunderbolts, with critical acclaim, still hasn't had great box office success. Even this year's upcoming Fantastic Four entry is struggling, needing reshoots at the very last minute, and having its main star, PeePaw Pedro Pascal, seen dancing very strangely with some glow sticks, well, that doesn't exactly bolster confidence. And the Disney Marvel team seem to have realized that, as they've currently made a last-minute move to adjust the schedule, delaying the upcoming Avengers Doomsday from its original May 2026 release all the way till December of 2026. This adjusts everything, which begs the question, is the MCU actually doomed? There is no question whatsoever that you are the greatest audience on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen, and we thank you so much for coming in and checking this out today. And all we ask is that you do please click that like button below on the way in as we ponder the question, since the boom, what may loom over the MCU's Avengers Doom? Breaking news for the Marvel Cinematic Universe: Doomsday seems to potentially be doomed. Yes, Avengers Doomsday was scheduled, I believe, to come out May of next year. Well, that is no longer the case. There has been a major delay, and we're going to check out and see if we know anything about this one. By the way, this delay was predicted a couple weeks ago by none other than WDW Pro. So, yes, it is. He is the scooper that scoops all scoopers. We love WDW Pro, and we love thatparkplace.com. We're going to go there right now. And if you're not bookmarked to thatparkplace.com, please do so now. You don't want to miss any of the news that should be fun. This is out of thatparkplace.com by Mr. Marvin Montanaro. Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars delayed as Marvel's 2026 slate shrinks. No word yet on Sony's Spider-Man Brand New Day. This is really, really interesting. And there, Robert Downey Jr. presenting himself at the San Diego Comic-Con as Doom. Even though he's Iron Man. Weird. Anyway, weird. Marvel Studios is shifting its plans once again. Disney has officially delayed the release of its next two Avengers tentpole features, Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, pushing both films back by 7 months from their original release dates. Avengers Doomsday is now scheduled to debut on December 18th, 2026, instead of its prior date of May 1st, 2026. Its follow-up, Avengers Secret Wars, will now premiere on December 17th, 2027, moving from its original slot on May 7th, 2027. So a couple of big things about this is that they're moving from a summer release to a Christmas release. That's an interesting strategy, but also delaying the movies means they have more time for production, meaning that if they need to change stories around, they can. The news comes as part of a larger theatrical slate reorganization from Disney. As part of the calendar overhaul, multiple untitled Marvel entries previously dated for February 13th, 2026, November 6th, 2026, and November 5th, 2027 have been removed or rebranded as generic untitled Disney entries, projects. That leaves Avengers, Doomsday, and Spider-Man Brand New Day as the only officially scheduled Marvel Cinematic Universe releases for the 2026 calendar year. However, it's currently unknown whether Spider-Man Brand New Day, a Sony co-production tied to the MCU, will also move its debut back to release between the two Avengers films. That placement had reportedly been intended to bridge the narrative gap between Doomsday and Secret Wars, much in the way that Captain Marvel connected Infinity War and Endgame. Sort of. At this time, however, it's unclear if Sony will maintain its original release window or adjust in response to this Disney delay. There is Tom Holland's Spider-Man looking perplexed, if I do say so myself. These shifts also leave Marvel Studios with a sizable theatrical gap. After Fantastic Four First Steps releases on July 25th, 2025, no new MCU films will arrive until Spider-Man Brand New Day, July 31st, 2026, over a year later. Of course, if Sony is coerced into moving Brand New Day into 2027 to maintain its place between the two Avengers films, then there won't be a new MCU entry until Doomsday in December 2026, which is almost a year and a half after Fantastic Four hits theaters. This marks the longest pause between Marvel theatrical releases since the 2019 to 2021 lockdown era break between Spider-Man Far From Home and The Black Widow. Disney still has no placeholder dates for untitled Marvel films on February 18th, May 5th, and November 10th of 2028. However, there's no solid information on what films these could be. The delay aligns with comments made earlier this year by Disney CEO Bob Iger, who acknowledged the company's need to slow output and refocus its Marvel division. Quote, by consolidating a bit and having Marvel focus much more on their films, we believe that will result in better quality, Iger said during a recent investor call. Despite the delays, Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars are expected to be massive crossover events. The cast includes the return of Robert Downey Jr. as a variant version of Tony Stark, this time portraying Dr. Doom, along with characters from Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, and the Fox X-Men films, including the return of Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen as Professor X and Magneto. Production on Doomsday is currently ramping up, with Downey Jr. recently appearing in a social media post alongside other cast members attending a Thunderbolt screening in support of the Marvel team-up films. Stay tuned to That Park Place for updates as more details emerge. Yeah, it's very, very interesting because that is breaking news from yesterday, and it's kind of a big deal what Marvel is doing in this delay. Personally, I'm going to tell you, I have already lost a lot of faith in the MCU, but does this indicate that Disney themselves have lost a lot of faith in the current direction of Marvel and the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Let me know down below in the comments. What are your thoughts on this? Are you an MCU fan, former, current, or perhaps, like me, still holding on, but the fandom is waning quite a bit? I don't know what's coming out, but I want to know your comments below. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts before you go out the dough, and thank you so much for coming in. And if indeed you enjoyed our news commentary today, please do consider clicking that like button down below. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, and do click that notification bell. It's when you click it that you stick it to the YouTube algorithm and you get notified of all of our uploads here at Follow the Bradley's Fun. Thank you again so much, and until next time, we will see ya real soon. Bye everybody. Ciao.